from?
How you guys doing?
Good.
All right, good afternoon. Well, that was a really good practice today. Last couple days we've had some good ones coming out here. I think these guys are, dialed in, working hard. Got to give a lot of credit to these core guys and the specialists. I think they're putting in the work and they're preparing themselves, being ready to go for not only the Rams but also leading up to the season. But I'll go ahead and open it up for any questions.
When we talked to Troy about a week and a half ago, he brought up Josh Harris as like one of the leaders on the team overall, not just on special teams. But what has he brought to your group since you guys signed him back in March?
I mean, he's doing a great job in terms of, one, like you talked about being a leader. I mean, he comes in and he's got years of experience. He knows how it needs to be done at this level. He's had a lot of great success here, in terms of in the league as a snapper. That's why one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to go ahead and go after him and bring him in here. But a lot of guys rely on him, especially in terms of like protection, just seeing the things that he sees, talking the same language. So he's been great, just being that constant guy that we can rely and depend on every time he goes out there on the field.
And just on a broader level, like having an all-pro level player at long snapper, what does that do for your special teams overall?
It creates a lot of guys are excited about it. We can rely on him to be able to do his job. He's got that experience. He's got those. He's been battle tested, so to speak. But we feel very confident in him. Taking that role and we feel that we've secured that spot. As long as he continues to compete and he's competing not only with himself out here but amongst everyone around the league too. So it's been great to have him here though.
Ryan, I think if you look at the three phases, it seems like special teams is probably the one that you might be able to get the most out of these preseason games, just because a lot of the starters aren't going to play on offense or defense. So how important are these preseason games for just evaluation and what you guys are trying to
I think it's very important. I think the preseason games, but these practices. We can't go ahead and take these lightly, and they're getting evaluated not only in these preseason games, out in practice, in the meetings, just the small things of being where you're supposed to be. So they're getting evaluated in everything we do. But we're trying to create depth at all positions. It doesn't matter where it is. We got to make sure they're ready to go against the Rams here in all these situations, making sure that they're prepared so they can go out and execute and have the most success that they can have out there on the field, because that's what we want. We want them to have success out there, not only for themselves but for our team as a whole, so we can build that confidence as we lead up and make these decisions a little bit more difficult.
How true of an evaluation can you get when there isn't, you're not tackling completely in a practice setting compared to a preseason game where it's live?
You get the movement skills. You see how they work in space, because a lot of special teams, it is, in space. How they move. Are they doing their assignment correctly? Are they where they're supposed to be? Because 9 times out of 10, majority, if they just get lined correctly, they have an opportunity to be successful on that play. So it's a lot of things leading up to that, and then see how the technique and the fundamentals transition in terms of these full reps and just seeing it carry over. And that's what we're trying to do with us, is just trying to eliminate, trim all the fat, make it really simple for these guys so they can go ahead and have their athleticism go over and take over as they're out there, but have confidence as they're playing.
We've had a bunch of guys rotating in at gunner, Michael Davis, Keemon, Tavon, Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton. Just your overall assessment of sort of that competition, that gunner on punt team?
I think it's a great competition in terms of that group. They understand the importance of it. Our team does. Our organization understands that, how important it is to have that success in the gunner spot. That's why we're rotating. We got a very deep group in terms of some of these young guys coming in, the veterans that are here contributing. So I think it's been a great challenge and competition throughout the whole training camp and then previously in the offseason. But it's been a major emphasis, with this organization and this team to go ahead and make sure we solidify that. And you don't want to just have 1 or 2 gunners, going into the season. You want to have a good mix of, 4 or 5 guys. So we know throughout the whole year things happen, and we got to be able to call the next man up. And those guys are the first weapon in terms of punt, going down there to defend against the return unit. So very important.
Has there been anybody at gunner that has kind of separated themselves as you guys are rotating in different guys? And what exactly are you looking for from your gunners aside from just, the position itself?
They got to think through the whole process. There's a lot into it just in terms of the rules. There's a lot of nuances with these rules in terms of special teams, especially on punt. Getting a line correctly, having a plan. See them work through all the mental gymnastics before they even take actually a full rep. And then working the technique that we're talking about, releasing with speed, not dancing at the line of scrimmage, pad level, using your hands, being violent, and then covering the kick. I mean, that's just part of it, but now we got to go ahead and cover the kick against the elite returners in the league that we have to face, and those guys are typically the better athletes on the field, and so we got to make sure we're full stride and speed, and then we got to throttling down, attacking the hip. I mean, all those things we're evaluating all that and how they go ahead and make those decisions in split seconds. But as a group, to answer the first part of your question, I think it's been a great competition. So I think they're all are doing more than we've expected. Not that the bar was low, but I thought they would be great, and I think they're doing a great job and chomping at the bit for this competition. But I mean, just Samuel, unfortunately, Samuel was getting some. You had Davis, you had Campbell that was getting some of these reps, and before he went down, and then the young guys with Leonard and Taylor. So it's a deep group, and you can see them actually flourish a little bit with this competition.
With Xander Horvath, the vision when the organization took him was, obviously fullback, but you need special teams value out of that position. You guys like his athleticism. What have you seen from him specifically as a special teams guy? I know he was working on kickoff a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, I think the biggest thing is with Xander. I mean, you like his athleticism. When him coming out here, his size. I mean, he's really added some weight coming into the camp. But the way he's a very mature rookie. He played teams. We liked him on teams when he was evaluating him in the process. But he understands football. He's not just a fullback on offense. He is a football player. He's got a way to increase his value, and he's out here competing with the other fullbacks, with neighbors, and at that position. And I think he's doing a great job so far.
Does his history as a linebacker in high school, getting recruited at that position, does that help and translate on special teams at all?
I mean, I think definitely he's got that defensive mentality. But again, he's not a specific fullback who's just taking on linebackers. I mean, he's a football player. He's got those natural tendencies in terms of as a defensive linebacker and everything that you see that translate over. But he's got natural football movement, which we're excited about.
Good.
All right. Appreciate
Thanks, Ryan.
Yes. All right. Thank you, guys.
You ready, Jack?
Yeah.
Hey, Asante. How's it going in training camp this season?
It's going good. The offense, the offense and the defense, we just been competing, and we're just trying to get better each and every day, and just focusing on one game at a time.
Hey, Asante, just the battles with the talent on offense. How do you think it makes you guys so much better defensively?
I think it makes it better because we're going against one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the three of the best receivers in the league. So I just try to go out there and use my technique to get some guys, see what I can do, see what I can't do, and just trying to perfect my craft.
And the addition of Khalil, how do you think it's going to not only help the D-line, but you guys at the cornerback with an added piece to the pass rush?
It's definitely going to be a big difference with him there. Him putting pressure on the quarterback, him stopping the run, and he's a great player and a great leader on the team.
Asante, how different does it feel for you, heading into year 2 versus your rookie year? Obviously, it's a whirlwind as a rookie. You're going through the draft process, come in, trying to learn to do defense. But coming into year 2, when you have a whole offseason for yourself and, your second year in the scheme as well.
Yeah, I feel more confident and more calm as I'm going through my progression, as I'm going through the calls and just learning different things about the NFL. So I definitely feel more confident this year.
What are some of those things you've learned about the NFL?
Just little things like formation tells, receiver splits, the receiver you're going against, just little things in that nature.
Asante, health-wise, how do you feel?
I feel great right now. It's camp right now. You got a little nicks and bruises, but other than that, I feel good.
So, Asante, you have a huge advantage. Your dad is a potential Hall of Fame player. Just now with you going into your second year, what type of advice has he given you? Have you guys gone through the tape of your first year to kind of help you improve as well?
Yeah, he just tried to tell me, do what I've been doing all my life and just kind of learn as you go. And sometimes you just got to learn things on your own in the NFL because, he could tell me a lot of things, but once I go out there, it's kind of different. So I just got to learn it through my own play.
Asante, what's it been like having a couple of vets in here in JC and Bryce, through the spring and in the training camp? What have those guys meant to you in your development?
It's been good. I've been asking them guys little things with technique and scheme, just trying trying to just ask as many questions as I can, gain knowledge from them, and just become a better player and a better teammate with them guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Mike, what kind of impact has JC had on secondary so far?
The impact for JC, I think, in our secondary is that he's energetic. He's a Florida boy. All Florida boys are all energetic. They're wild like that. So he brings a wildness to the team.
Got a few of them in the secondary.
Yeah, we do. DJ obviously brings a wildness to our team. Zant.
Mike, how has the battles been with the offense so far, you feel, on this training camp?
You're going against the best. I mean, I think our offense is one of the better offenses in the league. So it's best on best. I mean, we have our days, they have their days. And I think that's the point of competition. I mean, just to keep grinding, keep making each other better.
Michael, when we talked to Ronaldo in the spring and then sort of throughout training camp, we talked a lot about adding more competition, across the defense, particularly in the secondary. Heading into the season, how have you been approaching, that competition with all the guys that they added, in the secondary?
I think competition brings camaraderie, and I think when you compete, you make everybody around you better. And we're all still friends, so I think that's just part of the game. I think it just elevates us all the way around.
Hey, Mike, given the number of AFC teams that have improved, what have you guys done on the defensive end to improve yourselves in order to compete for the AFC Championship this season?
We've locked in. We bought into what Coach Staley's been talking about, to our coach DA, Ronaldo Hill. We're coming together as a unit. And I think that's the main thing. You play as one, and you win as one.
You've been as a gunner on special teams. How has that assignment been?
It's been pretty fun. I haven't done gunner in a while, since I think my second, third year in the league, and it's been fun. I mean, I'm still killing at it, so pretty cool.
So something you're comfortable with?
Yeah, something I'm comfortable with. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you felt like you had to work on in the off season?
I think every year always being consistent. I think that's the main thing. Especially as a cornerback, you got to be consistent. Can't be up and down. I think I worked a lot more on that this offseason. Just steady grinding.
You've been working with the dime package a little bit at money, a little bit different than what you were doing last year, where you're strictly outside. How has that been going for you, and what's been the message from the coaches as far as why they think you might fit in that role?
I think just because I'm big and strong and I'm fast. It's a different position, but I like it. It's I guess just adds more value to me. And we'll see how it goes. I'm liking it.
What are the main challenges of playing that position in the defense versus being outside? Staley talks a lot about how there's just more commotion in there, more traffic, a lot more going on. Is that the challenge?
Yeah, that too, and also the fact that you're playing with bigger people, so you're probably guarding more tight ends. You're probably on the edge of every run, so more physicality, I guess. But I like it though.
Like just going back to last season, looking at your film and everything, what did you feel like were the main areas that maybe you excelled and then struggled at last year?
I think last year for me was a year of distractions, on the field and also off the field for me. So I think that came into play into my game, inconsistency. But yeah, I think we're past that. And also just the effort. I think this year is all about effort. This year, where I failed last year.
Was it distractions, just pressure to improve the contract, or?
It was just distraction in my personal life, with my previous girlfriend, just everything. Whatever happens off the field, it comes onto the field, and vice versa. So I think just last year was a field distractions, and this year I was able to eliminate all the distractions and just go back to myself the way I've been doing it before last year. So we're going up from here.
How more comfortable are you in the scheme? Because there's obviously a big change from what Gus was doing to what Brandon brought here, specifically at corner. How much more comfortable are you with like what Brandon's trying to accomplish on defense? I'm
a little bit more comfortable this year, a lot more comfortable actually, because last year I feel like I didn't really have a grasp on the defense. Now this year I do have a grasp. I'm able to play with. I mean, it's a team sport, so now like I feel like with Gus Bradley's defense, it's more like you play by yourself, and this defense you got to play with everybody around you. And I'm getting more used to playing with my teammates. So, yeah.
Mike, how good can the secondary be this season?
I mean, phenomenal. We can be. I mean, top 2 and not 2, just like Drake said.
You feel like there's more depth at corner now, adding JC and Bryce and Asante now in here too.
Yeah, obviously it's more depth. You mean more depth, more competition. I mean, it brings the best out of us. So.
Have you talked to Derwin at all? Obviously, I know you guys really want him to get back out there. You went through your own contract negotiations a couple years ago.
I try to keep that separate from what's going on in the field. I mean, that's his business, him and upstairs. So whatever happens, happens. We keep riding out.
You know how much you got to play Saturday, or you know how much?
Say it again.
You playing Saturday, or you know how much?
You get out the house to Coach Daly. Yeah, we don't know.
Do you want to play Saturday?
I mean, yeah, if you want to, yeah, I'll play. Yeah.
That's good. Awesome.
Cool. Thanks. See you guys. Thank you guys.